Good morning. This is Bootleg Macro. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about a new component that I've made. Something that I think is kind of cool, where you're seeing here what's on the screen, the Swift trading thing that just popped up, the Chrome extension. What it does is shows you bullish or bearish flips in any of the S&P 500 component stocks. So you see this is from yesterday because we haven't had the market open yet today on the 18th of August. These are all the stocks that flipped bearish yesterday on my model. So if we take, like, let's say Meta here, which was at the bottom. And I will, if you have never seen my videos before, this is a specific model that I built for myself inside of Google Finance, or using Google Finance data and then building Google spreadsheets. But essentially all the logic and all of the way the conditional formatting and all the everything is mine. So when we look at what it means to go bearish here, what we're saying is that on this column EJ here, we have two bearish in a row after being multiple bullish for a long time in Meta. So it actually has been bullish. If we look, it's been bullish all the way since May 24th and May 25th, when it was at $249. It just flipped bearish officially, and we've dropped all the way down to 285. So this is a signal that, at least in my methodology, I would be paying attention to, because I believe that a bullish or bearish flip, especially in something, it doesn't really matter, a bullish or bearish flip in like, along with other signals like multiple go shorts, or a flip of negative rolling returns on the 1 day, 5 day, 15 day, 1 month, being below the 5 day moving average, or the 23 day moving average. All these different things help me add up to pay attention to this specific signal here. And this is what the indicator is essentially about. So I'm going to show you one if I go back a different day, because if you've been watching the stock market, unfortunately, things are incredibly bearish right now. Hooray, August 2023. If we look, though, at the day before, we do have a few that went positive. You have like Boston Scientific here. I'm going to go ahead and change this data to be BSX, which stands for Boston Scientific. And as it's loading, obviously you can tell this is probably a lot for you to take in since you've never seen the spreadsheets before. Feel free to pause or whatever, but I mean, like, essentially when you look at this card, you have the top is the returns, the bottom, or the left here is going to be like specific things related to the stock itself, like its bullish or bearish sentiment, volume. You can see the date and time, so you know what time this is shot at. Its correlation to Bitcoin, correlation to UUP, correlation to the VIX, and then you have like its trade range. These are things that aren't as important. One of the things I do want to call out, even though I'm making this video, is because I do think something I need to incorporate into that JavaScript component is I need to incorporate the reflection of the market itself. I think that right now what we're seeing is we see a longer term bull market. We're seeing a slight correction. The correction, while it is very difficult right now during the month of August, it is one of those things that if you have the longer term context of where the market has been going, you won't miss much. But back to the original point of the video. The point of the video is to give you something that is looking for the flip from bullish to bearish on the trend indicator, specifically on the S&P 500 holdings for the longer term. Then it allows you to investigate, okay, do you have a long signal that you trust? Are you positive even on the 1 day, 5 day, 15 day, 1 month, 3 months? Still not here on Boston Scientific. You are seeing kind of a return of bullishness to a certain extent, but there's nothing that is really reminding you that this is a great setup right now because of the overall market potentially, or maybe its own setup. You're not sure, but that's the point of the component. So I'm just curious what you think. What do you think about the way that this works? Would you be interested in something like this? Would this be helpful? I mean, we're looking at like M&M. Actually, I want to take a quick look at 3M again, because I see that 3M actually went bearish as well, which 3M has been an interesting stock for a lot of people to play. And we can see that move, it's all the way down to 101. Look at the weekly data. It's all the way down to 101. That's interesting with this flip. So we have risk back on. We have a falling bear and VIX sentiment. I'm very curious, because what it's telling me here, if you look at this little portion, is that the VIX is actually starting to reverse. The VIX is starting to fall, even though we've had some very aggressive days. We may be getting very close to the bottom here. And this move that we've seen in 3M, now that is kind of not great, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. I mean, it was at 101.14 the other day. It's at 101.80. It's kind of up, actually. I mean, it was up 1% yesterday. It has flipped bearish officially on the longer term after being bullish for a little bit, not very long, since the beginning of July. We do see that we've got multiple signals of go short, which is confirming of the bearish stance. It isn't a falling bear. I mean, I'll be very curious to see what happens at 3M here. It is essentially rising, though. It looks like you had what looks like a higher bottom and a series of higher bottoms now and higher highs. This is a 9-month chart, so I'll be very curious to see what this looks like. It looks like August may be setting up for a very bullish fall. But I think that this indicator here from the JavaScript component, what we're calling Swift trading for now, at least gives you a good indication of places to take a look at, especially if you're following the S&P 500 and you want to get deeper in and you want to have an opportunity to kind of beat the index. I think this is a really good tool that I will use for myself, as well as I'm very curious what other folks think. But tell me what you think in the comments below, and feel free at any time to sign up for the New High newsletter. We do send you 25 stocks to your inbox every single Sunday. If you're ever looking and wondering how to be able to get that, you can always go to bootlegmacro.beehive.com/subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.